here from the Georgian Bay Biosphere, and I'm going to talk to you today about a powerful garden tool. Is it a watering can? Nope. Gloves? Nope. Is it a hoe? Nope. We're talking about compost. Now, sometimes when we talk to people about compost, they say, compost? Why bother? But there are so many great reasons to compost, and we're here to tell you why.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and I'm here to tell you one of the first reasons on why you should compost. And it's because it's easy to work into your family's routine. And you're also going to get your kids to help out, and that's going to help them learn how to compost and get that into their routine, and then eventually become lifelong compost heroes, helping fill up the bin and also make sure it keeps getting filled. Not only is it good for your garden, but it also helps keep this waste out of landfills, and that reduces the methane gas that's contributing to climate change.
So how does compost help your plants? Well, compost, when added to the soil, is a nutrient powerhouse. It means that all of your flowers, your fruits, and your veggies will be much happier growing in soil that has finished compost added to it. One of the ways that it can help is by adding nutrients so that you can save on fertilizers and reduce soil additives. The other way it helps is by holding the moisture better. It helps hold water in the soil so that you spend less time watering and you can save water. Plus, municipalities are more and more supportive of composting initiatives. Residents of Seguin Township can apply for a rebate of up to $40 towards the purchase of one new backyard composter per household. Residents simply have to provide an original receipt or a clear copy indicating the purchase. For more information, visit www.seguin.ca/compost.
So there are two decisions you're going to want to make when deciding where to put your compost bin and how to set up your composting system. So first, you're going to want to choose your location. Now, you don't want to put it too far away from where you are so that you don't have to walk a mile to get to it and you'll never end up tending to it. You also don't want it to be too close so that when you go outside your front door, you're tripping over it. You also want it to be in a place where it gets adequate amounts of sunlight and also in a very well-draining spot so that it doesn't accumulate too much moisture.
Next, you can decide whether you want to use a pile or a bin for compost. Composting doesn't require any fancy equipment. You can even just pile your compost in your yard. Or you can use a bin. You can make a bin, like this one made out of wood, or you can buy a bin, like this one over here. And if you're using a bin, it's helpful because it helps to discourage animals from coming over and investigating what's in your compost pile. Once you've decided on your location and your type of container, you're ready to start adding materials to your compost pile.
Composting works by mixing two types of wastes, greens, which is your nitrogens, and brown, which is your carbon. Fill your compost with 60% browns and 40% greens. Start it off with a large piece of raked up leaves, and as you continue to compost, add fallen leaves to keep a balance of carbon and nitrogen. It is important to know the do's and don'ts of composting materials. Backyard compost systems don't get hot enough to break down certain things that might seem organic, like pet waste. You want to avoid smells that will attract wildlife before breaking down, including oils, meats, bones, fatty foods, dairy, and breads. Your compost won't be able to break down pathogens and chemicals either, so avoid adding diseased plants, weeds with mature seeds, and chemically treated wood.
The other material your compost will need is water, and this can depend a little bit on the site and the style. But particularly during hot, dry weather, your compost pile might need some extra water. So it's important to add that water when you need to. You want your compost pile to be about as damp as a wrung out sponge. It's really important so that it helps the microbes perform optimally in the compost pile.
So the golden rule for composting is to go out there at least once a week and turn up your compost pile, either using a pitchfork or a shovel. This will add oxygen into your pile, and that helps prevent smelly odors, as well as your materials from not fully breaking down.
If you're worried about smells in the kitchen as you collect green materials, here's a little life hack. Keep your compost container in the fridge or freezer, especially during those hot summer months. Empty it out weekly, turning the compost each time, and you'll never be haunted by smells. Finished compost can take 6 to 12 months to produce, depending on the care provided. If you are finding the process slow, try chopping larger scraps into smaller pieces. Turn your compost more often, and keep adding a good mix of greens and browns. Composting is one of the simplest ways to help your garden and help the environment. Once you start composting and seeing the results, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. You can find composting information at gbbr.ca/gardens, which you can download for free. It might be something you consider printing and putting on the fridge as you get started.